This is my 1 and 12th video. This means I've already developed about 111 videos and uploaded it to my YouTube channel. This video deals with DACUM and competency standards. In my video 109, I've presented for you lessons on DACUM analysis. In video 110, I presented about competency standards, CS. In the third video, I presented for you, in video number 111, I presented for you about DACUM and competency standards in comparison. In this final video of this package, for having or comprising of 4 lessons, is about DACUM and competency standards in developing OS and curriculum. So I would invite you to stay with me and watch all the 4 videos so that you can get full-fledged knowledge and concept about competency standards and DACUM processes. All this is all about me. That means this is contact information of mine. I have email, I have phone number, I have also YouTube channel, I have also LinkedIn. In LinkedIn, you can see my profile, my work experience. I have great work experience for that matter, regarding my educational background as well as experience. So you can get there, and also I have Facebook. Anyways, using either of this platform, you can communicate with me if you want my consultation or my help. Regarding my professional skills, I'm versatile. That is diversified professional skills that I have. I've been working as consultant. I've been working as a trainer. I've been working as TVET and community development specialist, vocational and career counselor, researcher, writer, translator, YouTuber, DACUM and competency-based training facilitator. I've been working in this, among many others. Experience I do have. I can say I'm professional in training and development, specifically in technical and vocational education training. Okay, this is what shows that I'm a DACUM facilitator, by the way. I have facilitated about more than 30 workshops regarding DACUM process. So I'm experienced in that. So anyone who wants my help can communicate to me. This is just to certify. Okay, contents of this specific video. The merits and demerits of DACUM and CSS. We'll see characteristics and preferences of DACUM and the competency standard approach. And also there is a kind of conclusion and recommendations that are put forward. The merits and demerits of DACUM and CSS. Both of them do not clearly, now let us compare DACUM and competency standard. Both of them do not clearly portray what to do is to make use of them. In other words, it is not clear how to convert DACUM and also competency standard to training materials. It is not clear. It is not clear. Of course, it's not clear when you say it is not put clearly in the DACUM chart. It's not clearly put in the competency standard chart. It does not mean it's known how. For example, I know how to convert it because it's my profession, and also it is what I've studied in my PhD. For that matter, specifically, when in my PhD study, I've undertaken a study entitled as The Practice of Technical and Vocational Education Training Curriculum Design and Development Approach. I've tried to investigate or assess the advantage and disadvantage of DACUM, or the merit and demerits of DACUM and the competency standards. And also, I have come across finding how DACUM and the competency standards to be converted to curriculum and training materials, running aids, handouts, and so on. So it needs experience, or it needs a professional who should facilitate in doing so, in converting these tools, competency standard DACUM into curriculum. Most DACUM-related documents clearly state that people from all over the world participate in DACUM. However, there is no clear-cut statement regarding who should participate in competency standards. In most cases, both DACUM and competency lack undertaking the labor market demanded training needs before they are. Most organizations and training institutions do not even undertake functional analysis before developing DACUM charters, competency standards. Sorry, excuse me. It should be mandatory for the developers of both DACUM and competency to verify if pre-development process such as functionalities starting from major functions. Okay, look, the DACUM process and the competency standards, of course, they can be started or begun from functionalities, from sub-functionalities. That means before DACUM and the competency standards are developed, there should be a kind of training needs gap analysis or training needs assessment that should be undertaken. Or there should be a kind of major function. Major function means, for instance, there are sectors, construction sectors, health sectors, industry sectors, maybe tourism sectors, transportation sectors. So these sectors should be put into major function. For example, in construction, what type of construction works are demanded? What are the labor market? What are the skills? All this should be mapped, skills maps, for example. It is after decision of this that DACUM or competencies standard analysis methods comes. That is the missing point. Of course, there is the way that we use DACUM and competency standards in order to undertake major function and sub-function for that matter. Another major limitation of DACUM, especially DACUM, is inability to classify duty tasks per qualification level. Yeah. In DACUM, there is no level. Level means a standard, qualification level. By the way, in one of my videos, I've presented about what level means. For example, level 1, workers. At level 1, a worker who, level 1, for example, there is, I can see here, for example, residential wiring, okay? At level 1, one can do installation work which are very routine. For example, he might fix these accessories, electrical accessories, or he might work on one-story building. When you come to level 2, two-story building, in level 3, as a residential worker, he might install and commission electrical installation with high voltage or power. In that way and the like, the occupation should be, one occupation can be classified into levels. That is according to the national qualification level. To understand more about national qualification level, you can refer one of my videos, by the way. Anyways, the DACUM lacks that. The DACUM lacks that. So, when level is important or imminent, inevitable to happen, that is the way we use DACUM as well, actually. Depending on the tasks, the weight of the task, the frequency of the task, the difficulty of the task, the importance of the task, we can classify tasks into different groups. We can categorize as well. That is a way of doing so. Of course, it requires professional DACUM facilitator. When the areas of occupational performance are associated with different levels of competency, and these are at the same time articulated in the existing education system of the country, it needs to be developed. Yeah, this is a suggestion actually. Okay, now let us see some tables, characteristics and preference of DACUM and competency approach. Which one we should use? DACUM and approach. Wait, sorry, that is what's seen here. Let me begin with the first one. For example, perspective. That is perspective, DACUM, competency standard, more preferable. For example, when you see the first one, the perspective is simplicity in document development. Which one is simple? In DACUM, it can be easily undertaken if standard development is to be begun from scratch. Yeah, if you want to begin it from scratch, DACUM is preferable. Because in DACUM, only workers, experts gather together and explain or describe their tasks, describe their knowledge, the required knowledge, tools necessary. Because of this, if you want to begin from the scratch, training standard from the scratch, you better use DACUM. In case of competency standards, it is preferable to avoid the duplication of effort in developing standard from scratch. Yeah. In other words, it is preferable to revise already existing. Yeah. Whenever what we do is to revise or to benchmark, or to adopt and adapt from other country experience, for example. For example, you might say, I don't know, electric power or electrical DC machine repair. If you get occupational standard or competency standard from other countries, for example, from Australia, for example, if you get, you can adapt it. In order to adapt it, competency standard approach is preferable. More preferable when you say, if the perspective is simplicity, DACUM is simple. DACUM is simple when compared with competency standards. The next slide is from results perspectives. Okay, it is read like this. From results perspectives, when we talk about DACUM, they are job-oriented matters which concentrate on the job, tasks, and activities of position. Hence, it results in a product, service, or decision and represents an assigned unit of work. Yeah. Look, if the result is product, if the result is service, the result is decision, DACUM is preferable. In aviation industry, for instance, care should be taken there. Safety precautions is vital in aviation industry. So, DACUM is preferable because when you develop a DACUM, remember that there are three philosophies. One of the philosophies, it is the expert that describes the tasks. It is the expert. So everything, every work should be articulated, should be put together. So this is very important. When we take competency standards to the right-hand side, it is read like this. They are worker-oriented methods which focus on the required competencies and accomplishment on the job. So it results in competency, skills, knowledge, behavior. Yeah, when we talk about knowledge, much about behavior, this is very important. When we talk about product, DACUM is good. When we talk about service, DACUM is better. When we talk about having knowledge, behavior, like that, the competence standard. By the way, we can't say this is better than this totally. The only thing is to show you the difference. Both of them have their own strengths and limitations. That is what you should mind, or we should understand or comprehend about. So we can use both of them. It says more preferable is both of them. When you talk about the results, we can use both of them. There is a way to use both of them, by the way, by clustering them together, both approach. There is a way of doing this. Eclectic. Eclectic means to take things from here and there and cluster them. There is a way to do that. Of course, you need a good facilitator to do that. When we come to another slide, we are going to see from clarity in performance standard perspectives. Clarity, when you say, if you need clarity, which one is more clear about? Regarding DACUM, it is read like this. By the way, I think you are reading with me, not only listening to me. You can see the second column. In the second column, it is it's all about DACUM. From what perspective? Clarity in performance standard. Okay, it lacks performance criteria that define to which standard the particular task needs to be performed. When you come to competence standard, regarding clarity of performance standard, it has the performance criteria. Yeah. Look, go and refer to DACUM chart and competency standard chart. In competency standard, there is what you call performance criteria or performance standard, which tells you or expound things clearly. What to do, how to do, or it makes it smart. Smart means specific, measurable, achievable, relative, and also time bound. Yeah, relevant and time bound. When you talk about smart, to make things smart, competence standards are preferable because it has performance standard. To which standard something should be performed. But in case of DACUM, it lacks, for that matter. It lacks. So if you want clarity in performance standard, we better use competency standards. Okay, mind you, by the way, this is based on my study. As I've said, I presented this video based on my research undertaken by comparison or comparing competency standard and DACUM approach regarding its merits and demerits. Okay, regarding efficiency now, we'll see efficiency. From efficiency perspectives, efficiency means nothing to do things with limited resources. Effectiveness is about quality. Efficiency is about saving resources, yeah? So if you want to save resources, which one should we use? Okay, DACUM chart development takes 1 or 2 days. Look, 1 or 2 days. Workshop is no more than 12 participants. Even 5 participants are enough for them. Of course, I saw 3 participants when they participate. Actually, it should be 5. It's better. Anyways, it is highly efficient when DACUM is, no doubt about it. Because what makes DACUM from others is it is quick and efficient. It is quick and efficient. Okay, when it comes to competency standard, despite no specific time to develop competency standard, it takes considerable amount of time. Yeah, when you talk about competency standard, it takes my time. I'm experienced, by the way. I'm a DACUM facilitator as well as competency standard facilitator. In plenty of time, I can say. So I know. When we talk about competency standard, it takes time. So DACUM is preferable if you want efficiency. Another is manageability, docility of the document. Yeah, is it docile or manageable? When you say, we'll see that. Oh, we'll see that. So it is read like this. Regarding DACUM, the document is brief. Okay, only 1 or 2 pages, because it presents duties and tasks. Of course, along with knowledge, skills, and tools and materials, work behavior, and future trends as well. Yeah, by the way, when we talk about DACUM, there is future trends should be included there. Future trends means what is coming about that technology. For example, if we talk about electric, automotive, nowadays a kind of electric power, okay, electric battery is coming or emerging or about to come worldwide. So such kind of things should be put. Future trends, what's coming, what is the technology that's coming, either replacing or scaffolding the previous one or the existing one. So anyways, all these are there in a very well done DACUM charts or DACUM process. Okay, when you talk about manageability of competency standards, the document is broad. Yeah, it's too broad. Simply let me tell you, without reading all these things, it is broad. The document is so broad, many pages, because it presents not only units of competence and elements of competence, but also unit descriptors, performance criteria, evidence guides, range of variables. All these are presented in detail. In what? In competency standards. So manageability, when manageability is considered, taken into consideration, I think DACUM is preferable. Another thing when we talk about comparing these two things is inclusiveness. Inclusiveness. DACUM emerges all activities, routine and non-routine, simple and complex. Hence, there is a possibility of missing the infrequent, non-routine tasks and duties that need. Yeah. But when we come to competency standards, it presents all simple work, routine work, complex work, level by level, infrequent works, duties, tasks, and so on. It encompasses many things from simple to complex. So if inclusiveness is taken into consideration, competence standards are preferable to DACUM approach. When we talk about other issues, for example, specificity, from specificity perspectives, DACUM emerges clusters or generic, basic, and core activities, as well as knowledge and skill together. But in case of competence standards, it presents competencies by classifying them as generic, basic, and core, so as to help. Yeah. When you talk competence standards, you can see in competency standards, there are generic competencies, basic competencies, and common competencies, supporting competencies. There are different ways of expression actually. So basic competencies, they put this way and the other, okay? But in case of DACUM approach, it lacks this. Anyways, in this case, if specificity is needed, if you want things to be done specifically, in detail, one by one, competence standard is preferable. Another issue is labeling. We will see from labeling perspective. Yeah, it's clear. In DACUM, there is no label. We don't label. As such. We can't say this for level 1, this level 2, not as such. Actually, there is a situation in which we deal with that, in which we customize DACUM approach to labeling. Actually, there is a way actually, but it needs experienced facilitator, the one who knows more about competence standards. A good DACUM facilitator is the one who knows also how competence standards are developed, A good competency standard development facilitator is the one who knows or experienced or practiced facilitating the DACUM approach. That's why I'm talking, comparing these two things. Anyways, from my, by the way, I've undertaken this research from my experience as well, not only from related literature that I've reviewed, more about literature, and also from my experience. That's what I put here. Anyways, when we talk about labeling, according to its complexity, accountability of the worker, if that is required, competency standard is preferable. Regarding context of assessment, context of assessment, it says, context of assessment. Yeah, if you talk about assessment, automatic, it is competency standards that are needed. Because DACUM say nothing about assessment, about performance evaluation as such. Of course, there is a room, a way of doing so, actually, a way of including that. But in case of competency standards is more about assessment development. There is context. There is where to assess, how to plan, where to take, where the critical aspects of competencies are, where the evidence guides are gathered from, collected from, taken from. Competency standards tell us all this about. Because of this, it is very good, more preferable than DACUM. What? The competency standard is more preferable to DACUM when we talk about competency assessments. Even it tells what type of assessors, what the assessor should do, what type of workshop, what type of portfolio, what type of assessment tools to be developed. Questionnaire, interview, simulation. There are many ways that it contains. You can refer to my videos regarding about these issues and related, by the way. So all these are when we compared about DACUM and the competency standard approach. Okay, let me come to conclusion and recommendations. So what should we do? Which one should we use? How to use it? That's what I recommend based on my findings of study and the literature I have reviewed and experienced from my experience. The first one is both DACUM and the competency standard are not free from limitations. By the way, there is nothing which are free from limitations. Everything has its own limitations. The only thing that we prefer is the one with less limitations, okay? With high advantage. That is the way we have decided or identify something. And otherwise, there is nothing worldwide that is free from limitations. Okay, one should not disqualify one approach for the other before evaluating the approach against the desired outcome, resource constraints, and environment. Yeah, we have to see the perspectives. From what perspectives we are evaluating? First of all, we have to put a kind of indicator, a kind of SOP, standard operating procedures, a kind of KPI, something like that. That should be a kind of benchmark against which we measure something or assess something. Simply, we can't say this is good, this is bad. No. From what perspective? We have to ask such a kind of question. Okay, so that's what it tells us. Regarding when and where to use which one, DACUM is more suitable for informal and on-job, short and medium-term training programs and workshops. Yeah. Competency standard is more suitable for training programs that are intended to bring about skill, knowledge, behavioral or attitudinal changes in the trainees. Wow. Competency standard is also preferable for formal, long-term training programs aimed at national or regional implementations. Yeah, you can understand the reason why these are put. You can understand the reasons. If you don't understand the reason, please refer to the videos that we have gone through so far. Using one approach for all is not accurate. We can't use. You should not oblige to use this one because sometimes some decision makers say, do this, use this, don't use this. It's not correct. For example, TVET, Technical Vocational Education Training. Technical and Vocational Education Training. This is what UNESCO name for vocational education, yeah? But I know in some cases that some miss out education. Simply they say technical and vocational and training. We don't need education. Why? There should be some justifiable, something that justify this. So we should not simply say we should do this, We should not use this blindly. We should analyze. The stakeholders should be there. The concerned people should be there. Experts should be there in order to say, do this and don't do this. Specifically in education and training system, there is such kind of things that certain politicians simply profess or compel others to do this and not to do that. Anyways, that is incorrect when we see from professional perspectives. The prevailing point here is that one has to understand the features, one has to understand the principles, one has to understand the philosophies, one should understand the merits and demerits of both DACUM and competency standards and value them accordingly. Yeah, we have to analyze things, we have to criticize, we have to see things inductively and deductively as well. We have to see things. It's then that we should give decisions. Another issue is one of the limitations of DACUM approach is the lack of clear standard level. Yeah, of course. Yeah. As we can see, DACUM say nothing about labeling education. Okay. Of course, there is a way. As I've said, there is a way. There is an innovative way to incorporate that. By the way, the DACUM has its own limitation, but we can take certain strengths from other approaches. For example, from competency standards included. If the competency standards have a kind of limitation, we can take it from DACUM and include it. We can work this way, by the way, if only if you understand the merits and demerits of all of approaches. That is one thing, what Abraham Maslow said. If the only tool you have is a hammer, you consider everything like a nail. I like this saying. Why? You have to have versatile knowledge, okay? Diversified knowledge, skills, and experience so that you can use it. If the knowledge you have is limited, and always you think that that one way of doing things is right, there are different ways of doing it. All roads takes to Rome. There is a saying like that, yeah. Of course, you can go to Rome from Paris this way or the other way. Anyway, all roads take to. So there are different ways. We have to see things critically and in different way, and weigh them, assess them, evaluate them before getting into decision. So therefore, after the DACUM chart is developed, it can finally be cross-checked against the requirement of the international standard classification, ISCO, to ensure, yeah. When you talk about DACUM, there is ISCO. ISCO means International Standard Classification of Occupations. Yeah. For example, if you take electrical residential wiring, when you say that is ISCO, standardized nationwide. There is something like that. It is like international standard organizations that put this ISO, for example, might classify wanting to be done this way, especially when that work has value internationally, globally. For example, electrical machine repair, worldwide is used, of course. It might not be done, undertaken in the same way. Anyways, there is ISCO for that. So it should be checked against that. If there is something missing, we can incorporate, okay? So in order to implement the DACUM chart that is developed by experts, first it should be checked against international standards. We have to try to get it, and so that we will adjust accordingly. Unless otherwise we are not sure whether the tasks required, the occupation, the duties and tasks required there really fits what we need. Okay, before choosing an approach, the OS and the curriculum developers should decide what the training materials they are going to develop should address and encompass from various perspectives such as simplicity, from specificity, from desired results, performance criteria, efficiency, context, among many others. So you have to see things from these perspectives. Perspectives should be put there. Summary of the fourth video. By the way, this is my fourth video, 1.1.2, of the package named DACUM and Competency Standards. The first video was about DACUM analysis. The video 1.1.10 dealt with competency standard. The video 1.1 has dealt with DACUM analysis, and this video, the last one of this package, has been dealing with video 112 DACUM and Competency Standard in Development Curriculum. So once again, I would like to thank you for staying with me. By the way, if you have any inquiry, you can come up with them using my addresses. So I would like you to thank you once again for we stay together. Till we see in other videos, I would like to say bye-bye.